Hello, I'm Matt Gutt from thehouse.com, and this is a 2017 Salomon Villain Wide Snowboard, a great deck for anyone who size 11 feet and larger. It's a freestyle park deck designed for intermediate to advanced level riders. Beginners could get on this thing, but there's a lot of tech inside that beginners don't need, so that's why I say it's for intermediate to advanced. This is a rad board. It's perfect for anyone, with a little bit bigger feet. I'm so glad that they do the Villain in a wide option. Salomon has done some great things with so many of their boards, specifically within their park board line, and Villain is always one that stands the test of time and stands on top when riders rip it around. This is a true twin deck with a center style stance in a rock out camber profile shape. There's three different kind of profiles within this. In between the feet, there's flat section. Under the feet, there's camber. And then outside the insert packs to the contact points, the board is actually rocker. But when you set this thing on flat ground, there's going to be camber. Basically, like the board is lifted up. It's going to overall have a camber style feel and appeal, but it's not going to be as catchy as classic camber because those rocker sections on both the nose and the tail. The Villain, even though it does have kind of like a lot of stuff going on, has a feel and flex rating of a 5. It's going to be a little bit softer in between your feet and a little bit more firm underneath your feet and on the nose and the tails. And I kind of like that too, because even though a lot of people think the Villain is like a jib specific board, you can still really jump on it. They've actually upgraded this year's deck with Triax glass instead of Biax fiberglass, giving a little bit more spring and pop. And also has the classic Aspen Select style wood core, basically, inside of there. But then there's a bunch of other additional laminates. There's Popster Booster. It's actually carbon, and the carbon radiates from the contact points to where the insert packs are in a V shape, and then there's one more kind of strip from the start of where that V meets all the way directly down the center line to the tips, and that's both on the nose and on the tail. So the nose and tail are going to have that extra spring and pop. Another cool thing about the board that gives a little bit more structure, a little bit more kind of oomph when you're riding, it makes the board feel pretty lively, is the slingshot sidewalls. Now there is sections underneath where your bindings rest where they have, like, I believe a softer urethane style material that's sandwiched that sandwiches a carbon strip within the sidewall as well. So it kind of gives it that extra little pop, but it also absorbs a lot of that negative vibrations because of that urethane. And then, of course, is the EQ rad, or equalizer rad. Salomon does, a unique thing with their side cut radiuses. This one is really unique because there's basically, on one set of radial side cut, there's 3 straight lines. There's one straight line like in between your feet, and there's one angled one on the nose, and one angled one on the tail. The interesting thing about this one is that it has a radial side cut transition in between those flat lines that blend together the center flat zone and the flat zone on the nose and the tail. Now, why Salomon does that equalizer kind of setup is for when you're setting up for rail tricks. That's the main reason. You can kind of feel it when you're setting up for a trick and you kind of want to get on an edge, but you don't want to like carve into a feature. The equalizer, like that straight line in between your feet, kind of helps you to stay parallel, if you want to stay parallel to that jib feature when you're like setting up, which is actually pretty rad. And then lastly is going to be this awesome edge. This is a freestyle edge bevel. It's actually beveled or like kind of raised up 2 degrees, so it'll be less likely to catch when you're jibbing around. There's a lot of stuff going on with this deck. This is the Salomon Villain Wide, perfect park board for any big-footed rider out there that you can check out at thehouse.com. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Peace.